Often overshadowed by the valour of men, the wisdom of elves and the courage of hobbits, the dwarves of Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings often get forgotten. But what strength did they hold during the times of the War of the Ring? Let's look at this today.
Build me an army worthy of Mordor.
Behind the scenes, their resilience and craftsmanship play a crucial role in shaping the battle against darkness. Today I want to highlight the substantial yet underappreciated contribution of the dwarves, exploring how they may or may not have contributed to the fate of Middle-earth. In the world of Middle-earth, the dwarves carve out a niche of exceptional craftsmanship and toughness. Lesser sung than the elves' wisdom, men's leadership, or hobbits' courage, the dwarves' contributions remain indispensable. Their mastery in craft and construction underpins the resilience of their kingdoms, especially evident in the likes of Erebor and the Iron Hills. Erebor's liberation from Smaug ignited a dwarven renaissance, a testament to their strength and resolve. This event not only marked a resurgence of wealth and industry, but also rekindled the collective spirit of the dwarven people. Leadership under Dane Ironfoot saw both Erebor and by extension the Iron Hills reach new heights of prosperity and defence, underscoring the strategic and communal might of the dwarves during the time of their dwindling numbers. Beyond their famed skill in battle and smithing, the dwarves' role in the broader conflict against Sauron was marked by their deep sense of duty and hospitality. Offering sanctuary within Erebor's stalwart halls to those fleeing from Dale exemplifies their integral role in the Allied resistance, reinforcing their status as protectors and allies steadfast in the face of encroaching darkness. When considering the contributions of dwarven houses during the War of the Ring, it is clear how the Longbeards, or Durin's folk, are central to the narrative. However, the involvement of the other dwarven houses, though less documented, does enrich the lore of Middle-earth's last great war, even though there is not much detail. So like I said, the Longbeards or Durin's folk were at the forefront, defending Erebor and Dale against Sauron's allies, the Easterlings. You have a character like Gimli who came from this line, who actively participated in the Fellowship of the Ring and those battles across Middle-earth, although the majority of Durin's folk were up north defending their lands. Then you have the Firebeards and the Broadbeams, hailing from the Blue Mountains, whose histories intertwined with the aftermath of Beleriand's fall, suggesting some merged with the Longbeards or remained in the Ered Luin, contributing in ways not fully chronicled during the War of the Ring. And as for the rest, the Iron Fists, Stiffbeards, Blacklocks and Stonefoots, they represent the wider dwarven scattering, with potential roles in the war's broader theatre implied rather than explicitly detailed. Their contributions, while not directly recorded, formed part of the dwarven resistance against the encroaching darkness of Sauron's reach. It must be said, though, it is claimed that there were a few dwarves who served on the side of Sauron, although none came from Durin's folk. It is likely that these dwarves did some work for Sauron as late as the War of the Ring, or perhaps that War of the Dwarves and Orcs before the War of the Ring did somewhat sour any relations that they may have had with the Dark Lord. It may be better for me to say that it is perhaps a possibility that some did fight on the wrong side. In focusing on the deeds of Durin's folk, we touch upon the valour at the gates of Erebor and Dale's defence, pivotal moments where dwarven bravery and strategy shone. Yet, the presence and enduring legacy of all dwarven houses, even those whose tales remain in the shadows, contribute to the collective endurance and commitment to Middle-earth's defence against Sauron. The tales of Durin's folk, especially during the War of the Ring, resonate with the deeds of heroes like Gimli in the battles down south or Dane Ironfoot in those critical battles for Erebor. However, the spirit and the legacy of all dwarven houses collectively embody the ever-impressive will of the dwarves. Their contributions, both seen and unseen, must have been instrumental in the broader resistance against the darkness, ensuring Middle-earth's eventual triumph over it. Together, if even only slightly, highlights the dwarven spirit and their pivotal role in the collective endeavour in protecting Middle-earth.
Let them come! There is one dwarf yet in Moria who still draws breath.
Dwarven soldiers, known for their compact size and skill in making weapons, were key fighters against Sauron. Their gear, made with incredible dwarven skill, was almost unbeatable in terms of defense and attack power, especially the axes and hammers they used that were perfect for close combat fighting. Take King Dain for example, who was over 250 years old by the time of the War of the Ring. He fought as fiercely as any other warrior on the battlefield. Unlike the quick elves with their bows or the men's varied armies, dwarven fighters were unbeatable in close combat with their axes and hammers. Their unique way of fighting shows the wide range of defenders in Middle-earth and highlights how tough and strategic the dwarves were, even when things looked bad. They may not have had the numbers of the men, but they could definitely stand toe-to-toe with them. Stories of their bravery, again shown with King Dain Ironfoot's heroic last stand at the gates of Erebor, became famous, showing everyone the dwarves' unbeatable spirit. With their weapons, smarts, and strong will, the dwarves really did play a key part in defending Middle-earth and contributed greatly to that victory over Sauron. The Battle of Dale, alongside the prolonged defence against the gates of Erebor, had them facing the Easterlings, allies of Sauron bent on subjugating the north. The dwarves under King Dain Ironfoot, alongside the men of Dale under King Brand, showcased exemplary valour. Their staunch defence not only exemplified dwarven resilience, but also significantly strained Sauron's resources, offering crucial relief to the beleaguered forces in the south. Sauron sent a large army of Easterlings to attack the Kingdom of Dale. Initially, King Brand managed to hold them at Carnan, but by the 14th of March, the Easterlings crossed the river and forced Brand back to Dale. The men of Dale and the dwarves joined forces to fight the Easterlings at the base of Erebor. Despite fighting bravely for 3 whole days, both King Brand and King Dain were killed in the battle. It is said that when Brand fell, Dain was killed as he stood defending the body of his ally, an iconic end for a legendary leader. The Easterlings may have won at this point, with many of the survivors from Dale and the dwarven forces having now to retreat into the lonely mountain where they were besieged. Inside the mountain, the defenders, led by the princes Bard and Thorin Stonehelm, managed to hold off the siege. The tide then turned when news arrived that the forces of Gondor and Rohan had defeated Sauron's main army in the south on March 25th, demoralising the Easterlings and causing them to flee. So, boosted by this news, Bard and Thorin broke the siege on the 27th of March, forcing any remaining Easterlings to flee back to the east, thus reclaiming Dale. The enemy had intended this siege to be swift and decisive, but he underestimated what strength the dwarves still had inside, and so it turned into a drawn-out engagement that exemplified their fighting spirit. Despite the grievous losses of Brand and Dain, the Dwarven and Dale forces' resolve ultimately contributed to a pivotal turning point in the war's dynamics, mirroring the collective resolve of Middle-earth's defenders and symbolising the broader struggle against oppression. Their hard work in the north was a big part of the overall success across Middle-earth. By standing firm and making sacrifices when needed, the dwarves helped make sure their home stayed safe and played a big part in winning that war. So there we have it. Looking back at the dwarves' role in The Lord of the Rings, it is clear that their tough spirit, amazing building and crafting skills, and smart battle strategies were crucial in the fight against darkness. Even though they really have not been in the spotlight, their actions, especially in those big battles up north, offering help to their allies, show just how important they were. Their bravery and their sacrifice strengthened the bonds between Middle-earth's peoples, setting a foundation for future peace and unity. It is these kind of things that led to the likes of Gimli rebuilding the gates of Minas Tirith with the help of his kin. In the big story of Middle-earth's fight for freedom, the dwarves stand tall, proving that working together and valuing each other's strengths can lead to victory over even the greatest challenges. And now it is time for my question of the day, which is, if you could learn more about one of the other dwarven houses, or maybe even still Durin's folk, which one would you pick and why? Let me know your thoughts and reasons on this in the comment section down below. And now it is time to give a massive thank you to our patrons who continue to support the channel. You are all amazing. And if you have reached the very end of this video with me today and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It would massively help us out. And why not drop a like on the video as well? And with that, all I can say is, thank you for spending just some of your time with me today, and I will see you next time on The Broken Sword.